Hello everyone and welcome back. This is the video where Greg Perkins in case you forgot, where I'm going to talk about MyMathLab. So I'm assuming that you haven't used it before. I'll start at the beginning. So you can just go to mymathlab.com, Google that, or just MyMathLab. Before I go away from the syllabus though, I'm going to copy this. So this is the code you need that will link to our class in MyMathLab. So I'll just copy that, and then in my Google, just say Google is so smart, MyMathLab. Good job, Google. All right, so it's Pearson is the company, MyMathLab is the product. They just called it MyLab Math. I guess so that I can say MyLab Chemistry, MyLab Accounting, anyway. So you can also call it MyMathLab. All right, so if you haven't used it before, you go to register as a student, and then you'll need an email address, that code that I was just talking about, and then you'll need a way to pay for it. Now, the product costs, I believe it's around $100. And with that, you have the textbook, you've got their videos, you've got the homework, the quizzes. I'll show you, you get a lot of stuff for that. So if you don't have the money right away, when you get to step 3 and they ask you to pay for it, there's a button that says temporary access, and that allows you to use it for 14 days. Yeah, I believe it's 14 days. 14 days for free. At the end of 14 days, they'll freeze your account. Well, they'll ask you to pay. And if you still don't have the money, they'll freeze your account, but they won't erase your work. So when you go to pay for it, then it'll just open up again. All your work is still saved, and you can continue from there. So you can also go to the bookstore. So each student is supposed to get a $300 voucher this semester, and you can go to the bookstore and buy the access code from the bookstore. It will actually cost a little bit more. The bookstore is going to of course, add on some profit. But then again, if you're using your $300 voucher, then it wouldn't be costing you anything. Okay, so anyway, go to register, and then you type in that code that I just talked about. So that's the one I copied. And then, it says I already have an account, and I need to sign in. It hasn't done that before. Register, paste that. Is it still going to do it? Okay, well, the next step is just, it verifies that it's your Math 3A with Perkins, and then you say, okay, yes, verify, and then you go to the page where it asks you to pay, or you can use that temporary access to use it for 14 days for free. Okay. Now let's say you're done, you've got your username, your password, you're signed in, and of course I have a lot more junk up here, but what's important is you guys right here, Math 3A, so you click on that, and then that goes to the course, and they will fill the home page with different suggestions and things like that. Like everybody's is going to look slightly different. Or can look slightly different depending on where you are and what you've been working on. But if you go over here to homework, then there's a list of all of the homework. So like I said in the first video, when you do section 2.1 about secant lines and tangent lines, and you look at my video, which is called the exact same thing, then this would be the homework for it. So if you've already watched the video, then you can actually start working on the homework. So you just click on that. Before I do that, notice everything is already in here with all of the due dates. So that's all of the sections we cover for the whole semester, Math 3A. All right, then you're ready to do the homework. So you click on that and you just start with number 1. So the first time you use it, it's going to ask and make sure that you allow pop-ups, because all of their questions are these little pop-up windows. So I'm using Chrome, and when it doesn't allow pop-ups, over here in the right-hand corner, there will be some icon about not allowing pop-ups. I just click on that and say allow pop-ups from Pearson, and then it works. So make sure that you do allow pop-ups. Now, with every question, you do get 3 attempts. So with this one, let's say that I worked it out and I got the answer 14. So I can say check the answer. And of course, since I just made up that 14, it wasn't right. So they're basically saying use the slope formula, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So they give you a little hint as to what you're supposed to be doing. And if you watch the video that I made, I did one just like this. So anyway, you then get another attempt. So maybe it's 16. And of course, this should be wrong because I'm just guessing. And then you still get another try. So you get 3 attempts on each one. Now, also, there's Get More Help. So you can view an example. You can watch a video. You can go to the textbook. So let's try view an example. So basically what they did is, if you look at the original question, it had 9x cubed plus 9, and this one has 3x cubed plus 3. So it's the same question, they just changed the numbers. And you can say continue, 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 and so they show you all of the steps. Now, one thing that I like is using the print. Not because I physically want to print it, it's because when you do that, it then, instead of showing you step by step by step, it shows you the whole thing. And then you can just open it up and then, make it a little bit bigger and then follow the steps. Okay, so that's one thing that is very helpful, and that is the Get More Help, View an Example. Now, help me solve this. I don't know why they have this because it's basically the same thing. So if I click Help Me Solve This, it will take me step by step with this question. And then once I've looked at that and I say, okay, I'm ready to do it, then it will change this function to something like 4x cubed plus 4. So it's always going to be basically the same question, but they are going to change the numbers. Also under Get More Help, you can go to the textbook. This also is going to be a pop-up, and depending on the internet speed between me and Pearson, it might load quickly or might not. So you have the actual textbook, and then they do have, let me try to find one. They do have hyperlinks in here. So little links where you can try it. They've got examples, and then you try it to practice. So again, it's the same type of problem, but this is just try it. So it's just practice. It's not counting as part of your grade, but then you can try and see, do you really understand how to do that type of problem? There's my pop-up window. Then there's videos. So these are videos that Pearson made where they are going to, I don't know if it's playing.
Let's look at an example.
I had to click play.
In this example, you're driving along a highway and you pass milepost 50.
Now, with these videos, I don't know that they have closed captioning.
Pass milepost 80 at 12:30. So, question 1. What was your instantaneous?
And these videos, it seems that they have quite a few people that have made them. So sometimes it'll be one person, sometimes you'll see the person's face, sometimes they'll be writing on a piece of paper. There are different styles for the things that they offer. Now, one other very important thing is, if you want to ask me a question about the homework, please use this link, Ask My Instructor, because each time you change the question or each time you open it, or even if you and your friend were working together and you're both on number 1, part A, well, the problems will be basically the same, but the numbers are going to be different. So if you just email me a question, say, on number 1A, I don't know why they have a 13. And I open it up and I'm like, there's no 13 anywhere on here. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, when you say Ask My Instructor, then it's going to send me a copy of exactly the problem you were looking at, and then you can say, why is there 13, or whatever your question is. So then I can see your question and I can see exactly what they were showing you, and then I can respond. Okay, so that's all well and good, but I wanted to show you there's other things. Oh, this tutoring thing right here, don't do it, because they give you like half an hour for free and then they want you to pay extra money. So asking me questions is not going to cost you anything other than a little bit of time. It's not going to cost you any money. Coming to my office hours, that's another place where I can help you face to face. There's also the Panther Tutoring Lab, which if you go to the Canvas page and go over here to Get Tutoring, Hartnell College. So when you click on that, it's going to take you to their Zoom office, and then you can make an appointment or you can see a tutor if they have one available right that moment, or they'll say you're going to need to wait 15 minutes or something like that. But that's from Hartnell and that's free. And then they can also tell you about the in-person tutoring if you want that. All right, so for tutoring, first choice would be come to me, either by email or Zoom or in person. And next, I would suggest using the Get Tutoring Hartnell College. Now let's go back to the homework. So one thing that I really like is the multimedia library, because what you do is you pick whichever chapter you're on, you pick whichever section you're on, and then you say select all. Show me everything that you've got for that section. And depending on the section, they'll have different things. Like you could look at the textbook. There's a project that was created in Maple. There's a lecture. So this is their lecture for the whole section 3.2.
Hi, I am Dr. Latanzio, and in this video,
See, like I told you, when you open different videos, it's made by different people and different styles. So on this one has closed captioning.
we are going to discuss the derivative as a function. As you will see, much can be learned about a function from its derivative. So let's get started. The derivative as a function.
Okay, so in each section, this will be different. Here they've got a PowerPoint, a project in Mathematica, and then in case you didn't want to watch that whole video, then you can watch these clips or shorter videos. So this one's less than 3 minutes.
Let's consider the function f of x equal to 5x minus 1/2 x cubed.
All right, so there's a lot of help that's already built in. Okay, so that's homework. So there are all of the homeworks for the whole semester. And then for the quizzes. So if you look at the syllabus, you'll notice that like on Monday, September 12th, quiz 1, which is sections 2.1 through 2.5, that is due by the end of Monday, September 12th. So when you go over here and click quizzes, you'll see there is quiz 1, which is sections 2.1 through 2.5. So I've already assigned all the quizzes 1 through 7, and then number 8 is what's considered part of the final, so I haven't assigned that yet. Now with these quizzes, I'm going to go ahead and click on it. I'm not sure if it's the teacher version. So anyway, you would just start it. It's how many questions there are. And when I created the quizzes, I chose the amount of questions so that it estimates it would take about an hour to an hour 15 to do the quiz. Now that's based on the thousands of students in the past doing those questions, those types of questions. And of course, everybody, some work faster, some work slower, that's fine. So there's no time limit, and it's actually set up so that if you need a break, you have to finish a question. So if you're on number 7, you need to finish number 7, and then you can take a break. You could walk away. You could come back after you've had your sandwich or whatever, and then you can just start working on number 8 from there. So when you do take a break, make sure you finish a question. So don't open up number 7 and then say take a break, because then it's going to give you a 0 on number 7. So just finish a question, and then you can take a break, walk away, and come back. Now with the quizzes, you actually get 2 attempts. With the homework, you get 3 attempts. And with the homework, when you try a question, you automatically, if you don't get it right, you automatically get another try. With the quizzes, you do have to complete the whole quiz. So let's say you complete the whole quiz and it says you got 72%. And you're like, 72%? I'm not satisfied with that. Well, you get another try. And it's going to be the same questions. All they do is change the numbers. So instead of 8x squared, the next time it's probably going to be 12x squared. So you do get 2 attempts on the quizzes. All right, I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, here's a small thing that comes up when I import the grades into Canvas. Sometimes people will say, hey, Mr. Perkins, I thought I had 90% on the homework. And I look at their grade and they've got 85%. So that only happens every once in a while. And it's because people will like go ahead, which is perfectly fine. But if they were like trying next week's homework and they didn't finish it, well, MyMathLab counts that as part of their homework. Now, the following week, your grade would be all caught up and you'd be back to 90. So it's not really that big a deal. But if it ever happens, you can just email me and then I can go in and I have to like individually look at the sections and calculate the grade, but it's no big deal. Okay, so that's about it. Please let me know if you have any questions and have a great day.